One day, Luana's husband packed his belongings in his mule, kissed his wife and children goodbye, and set off to mine the nearby mountains. Days passed, and Luana began to grow worried, as her husband never returned. Later, it's believed that her husband was a victim of robbery, or killed from the harsh environment of the unforgiving desert. When her husband never came back to the small shack with gold in his pockets, Luana began to panic, as the family had begun to run out of food, and they were slowly starving. When food ran out completely, it is said that Luana slowly began to grow insane, forced to listen to her children's screams bouncing off the canyon walls, unable to look at their pale, sullen faces, unable to cope with the deafening screams of her children, and slowly losing her sanity. Luana made a startling decision. She donned her white wedding gown, grabbed an axe, and one by one, began to murder each of her children within the tiny shack. When the shack was quiet and the screams had ended, Luana looked around. The shack walls, and her once white wedding dress, were now stained bright red. From here, Luana dismembered each of her children into smaller pieces, and piece by piece, brought them to the river and threw them in. Once she finished her task, she collapsed at the edge of the river and began to wail. She stayed at the river's edge, screaming and crying until she too died. A combination of starvation and mourning the deaths of her children.